My name is Maddie. We're doing a mic test. Do you want me to speak louder or adjust anything? Hello. Sorry, this is a mic test. I'm not presenting anything important at the moment.
Let's move over here. Right.
You're holding the camera up.
Of course.
And we're we like this one?
Is that all right?
Gorgeous. Do they have seats? That's amazing. That is amazing. This is hilarious.
Yeah, really hard, and then the neck, like it's giving.
Oh, it is totally giving. God. So nice.
You. Absolutely. So nice to meet you. Enchanté.
Supposed to be the second party.
He wants to be down in the gutter with her, but use your head, Marty. Use your head.
I follow with the line.
Symbolism.
It was accidental. But
No, because when everybody starts thinking the same way,
honestly, that's so
just part of the
Synchronicity, baby.
Yes.
And they're both wearing mommy and me pearls.
But like I said, like when the vibe
We do performance mode? Have we reached performance mode? Wait, that's performance mode. Okay, someone told me this the other day.
Thank you.
Performance mode? Yeah, please. Oh, right. Which one? Hey, who is this? Damn it. Oh my gosh, have we reached it? Is that time? Performance mode. No more notes. Just the thing. Yeah.
Hi, I'm sure you know this already, but when you're not
Okay, great.
1, 2. Yeah.
Thank you. Alrighty. Hi, beautiful people. Alright, are we all ready? Everyone set? Do a couple remarks.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the workshop reading of House of Yes. This is the first reading that we've done at Wolf Trap Opera since 2010. So it's been a long time. So it's really exciting to get back into the game. So, as I was saying, it's the first time that we've done this in over 10 years, which is really exciting. And it's very exciting for us to have the artistic team here with us. So we have librettist Kathy Kelly, who's backstage, Michael Kelly, who's with us in the audience, and composer Kamala Sankaram. Welcome to
Hi. So
I thought it would be good to just sort of set the frame for you about what we're going to do today before we dive in. As you know, we've been workshopping all week, so we're kind of in the end of our process at this stage. And you are the most important people in the room at this point because we've all been inside of it for a very long time. And now we get to hear what all of you coming in and not knowing anything take away from hearing this piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the piece, and then Michael, Kathy, and I have a few questions that we'd just love to get your feedback on. That being said, this is still workshop, so we are going to run as much as we can, but we may need to stop and start. There may be moments where it's not totally perfect, and that is all fine. That's part of the process. So I think that's all. Thank you so much for coming and for really being with us. It's so hugely important to get to do this in creating a new work. I really feel that the audience is the last collaborator in the team. So welcome to the collaboration. And without that, we'll play House of Yes. Thank you.
The curtains slowly rise to reveal the Pascal house. Three figures emerge from the house.
There's much to tell of and some
Lightning flashes. A well-appointed living room. Jackie O and her brother are rearranging the furniture. Marty and Leslie in their car in front of the house.
Let's drive back. Let's watch the parade.
I bet he hates New York. Up the windows. That's what makes it tape. Person makes a simple observation. Quickly give your sister her pill and check under her tongue. Were you this excited when I came home? That was different. You dropped out. Oh, look! There in the driveway, there is my hairbrush. Where is my hairbrush? You can use my phone. I need my brush, God damn it! What did it look like? It was pink and it was right here, and now it's gone! It's gone, it's gone! I need my brush! I need my hair to shine! I need to shine!
The door opens.
Jackie O, my mother, Anthony, Leslie, my fiance.
I have a cold. Your skin and bone. Oh God, they sound like such a mother.
You are a mother.
And the towels, yes, bathroom, Marty, help your brother. Oh, we've never had a guest before. Lovely home. Not yes, was, is, will be, until it all gets blown away. 6 months, the first fiancé, and the last, I hope so. I never knew it until he was gone. I honestly have no idea what my children's gone through. My children belong to each other. Jackie's hand was holding Marty's penis when they came out of the womb. Children belong to each other. It's in the famous medical journal. You can look it up. Well, I guess I'll go freshen up now. Drenched and prepared.
A word or many words.
Don't get snippy. No wonder your father died young. The two of you slowly snipped him away.
That was hardly so.
Stick to the subject. You'll say, here, no. Why?
Just following protocol, Mama.
You'll have to do better than that.
Okay, how's this? She's real. She's real. She's real. I saw her at the Donut King in Chelsea. There she was covered in powdered sugar. Bathed in 3 a.m. fluorescent light. I took her home and found her sweet as vanilla glaze. On Sundays, we go to Mogador for breakfast, and good times, nice and slow, slow. All afternoon, she's real and simple, gentle and strong. She chose me, and I chose her in return. We will live our real life, our normal life, on 14th Street in New York
Marty's Donut Princess. That's a little affair you look back on, not your life.
Don't be such a snob.
Do you want to push Jackie over the edge?
She should hear this from me.
The noble Prince Donut!
Mother, do you want us to leave?
Yes, at once! Tell Princess Donut your sister's insane, and then tell your sister the wedding is off!
What? Why?
I have to baste the turkey and hide the sharp objects.
The lights flicker from the storm.
So, how is he in general?
He told me how glamorous you are. She's fine, glamorous. And in the toilet, puking out chili. Out Academy. Nation. Using the pill.
Right. Okay.
The doctors say it's PMS. Let's so she boys it. PMS. Please, there's no PMS when you have your little visitor. You have a visitor? She boiled eat a bird and bed. Now she creates upsets not to give her the third degree. Are you seeing yourself from marriage? Oh, she is a dog. We live together, Marty and me, so. Oh, Jackie, no. What is so obvious? I can't talk about your brother that way. That's when the new entrance replaces it all. And he's not my brother.
She's not what you call recovered. Leslie doesn't know about the hospital.
Well, we all have our secrets.
Maybe I should go in this weather. Anything I should say. I do.
Jackie O sees the wine and heads for it.
She's not supposed to have it. Change my medication, Anthony. This will match my eyes.
Mama wants us to leave. Leslie doesn't know about the hospital.
Yours. Let me guess what you told her. Appendix. Oh, Marty, show us your stuff.
Jackie,
Marty, we got into so much trouble for you. Anthony dropped out. I went and got saved. And Leslie, well. Marty, be it here. Touch me a piece of ice. She wasn't seen like Marty's time. But you two sparks. Like that. You're like the exact same age. I think she has her eye on you.
Jackie, they're engaged.
Refresh my drink. Not exactly. It's that exquisite piece of ice.
It used to be bigger.
It probably melted. Und you are Asian. You Fraumisch? I'm sorry, I don't speak French. Who does?
You do.
C'est vrai. Première fois que tu visites Asia. You must have had a gastric or something. Oh, yes, but I didn't go. We couldn't afford it. Oh, were you poor? Did you eat chicken pot pies? Pancakes, mostly. Pennsylvania! I've never even been to Pennsylvania. Great big state just standing in your way.
Jackie!
I'd rather call you Jackie O. We went to our nights of March party. I went as you were. I went as you were. Kennedy, they love you. Before the Onassis and the yacht. Have you looked at her bloodline? Pure No, I want a drink. Ice.
That was the last ice cube.
I thought this was the bar. I thought you can get whatever you want. In the last hurricane, we could just march in.
Jackie, oh, Marty's here, Marty's here.
A person such a lonely something. Person can't stand. I suppose you think I'm going insane just to be fashionable. No, I just think you're spoiled. No, it is très fatigué. I'm going to bed.
The lights go out.
Right into straw. Did you remember to buy matches? Jackie, is that wine you're drinking? Medica. She's mistaken. Jackie, go to bed. There's nothing to stay up for. There's conversation that just gets you into trouble. Is there an extra candle? Or shall I just curse the darkness? I'm going up to. Marty, are you coming?
Soon.
Just ring if you need anything.
So, Anthony, have you met this Peter person?
Love with Jackie. Don't use that word.
Your letter said he was lousy in bed. Yet Anthony here tells us Peter is in love.
Love is for tiny people with tiny lives and with nothing in common. Everything common. Anthony, something to tell you.
And honey, are you ever going back to school?
Like your cat. She cries at night in her. Oh, Anthony, since is déclassé.
You cry at night.
Don't make fun of her.
I just wanna know why.
You want someone for a very long time. They love you and they make love. Just like you said, lousy infant. Anthony, I'm talking about Marty. Why did you tell me? No, I did not. You always left me out. You feel left out. Did you go crazy from the shame? I'm not ashamed. When we started, not twins. It's like fucking a mirror.
Anthony said,
Does Leslie know? God! Go upstairs and tell her, oh, I
what?
be really
Jackie O goes to kiss Marty.
Don't. No, it's just I see other houses, and they're not like mine. I see other lives, and they're not like mine. Like mine.
Other lives don't interest me.
We always said that because we thought we couldn't have it. I should go up.
One of three things needs to happen first. The hurricane ends, or we run out of booze.
That's two.
Can I talk to you? Where did you meet Marty? At a New York City party. What kind of a party? I don't know, like a house party. Is that where you fell in love with Marty? No, I thought he was gay. Everyone in New York is, I mean. I have to go. I would have killed myself if this is true. Does she really work in a donut shop?
The best! A donut king!
God, stop! We're entertaining a donut.
More like a donut lady in waiting.
So she's marginal in the donut scene.
There are donut girls everywhere. It's a chain.
Oh, exactly.
No, my point, Jackie. This one belongs to me.
What if someone else fell in love with you now? Well, I'm engaged.
I'm tired of being above everything.
Do I have a fever?
I'm tired.
No. Can I hold your hand?
I want to be a human being. A human being.
Okay, let's be human beings.
You don't know how. I stood outside. Outside. I stood outside your hospital. I knew I was making you crazy. I'm not crazy. I want you to have a normal Jackie O and Marty. Jackie O and Marty.
How do you know that, Anthony?
They just told me. Are you okay?
Oh,
I see your face with Leslie too. The pillbox hat, stockings with the seams. Look lovely. I don't know what to do. Jackie, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Jackie, I miss you. I miss you. I could stay with you. I could stay with you.
your clothes on. Or off.
Leslie, my Leslie,
You look like Marty.
you look like Leslie.
They kiss and begin to undress. Jackie O enters with the suit.
My God,
With legs.
what they'll hear. You remember the day
The day of the party.
day he was shot.
Daddy would cry.
He was finally leaving. She tried to keep his head on. She tried to keep his head on. I'm here. Oh God! It's supposed to last long. Is it?
We're fine.
How long does Marty last? Are you gonna tell him about us?
I can't. I was confused. You confused me.
That's cause you're the heat of passion.
I wasn't. Where's my next shoe? You're not Marty. You smell different. You taste different. I
scar.
Marty's his appendix scar.
That scar is from when Jackie shot him.
Stay!
Oh, no, I know it's something harder.
Don't care!
Leslie, my love,
Jesus. Love.
Leslie, Leslie, you can't go down there.
Certainly can. You do what you want. In spite of obstacles and dangers and pressures, you do what you must. Mrs. Pascal said, my children belong to each other. You said, we all have our secrets. What's wrong with me is I'm just an outsider. From
Leslie begins to descend the stairs.
every moment we live is different from the other. The good, the bad, the fortune and joy. Tragedy, love, and happiness, one single in the sky
Leslie has reached the bottom of the stairs. She can see Jackie O and Marty. She stops and watches. Jackie O begins to move into the position of the shooter. Jackie O shoots the blank. Marty pretends to fall over. Jackie O runs to Marty and straddles him. They kiss. Leslie watches from the stairwell. Leslie runs back up the stairs to her room.
You're not bleeding. No. There's croissant in the kitchen. You can eat yours in the cab. Marty is driving us. You'll find a replacement. I believe you already finds out where you spent the night. He slept with his sister. I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about. Don't forget your toothbrush.
The lights flicker.
Stop smelling my underwear. Leslie, we can go to Pennsylvania. We'll be punished. I'm not going anywhere with you. I would go to the 7-Eleven with you. Sit on my suitcase. Sit on your suitcase. You asked me to sit on your suitcase. You're standing there carelessly asking if I can sit on your suitcase. When you know and I know, as soon as that suitcase is packed, you swing it off the back and carry it down the stairs and take it and go out of my life, out of my life. Your suitcase. Oh God, I'll never love again. I'll never love a woman again. I'll go to the desert. Love only sand. Love only sand. No, why? Love only sand. Do you know why? You never go hungry in the desert, Leslie. Do you know why? Because of the sandwich it's there.
It's morning and the storm has passed. Jackie O and Marty are on the couch, clothing half unbuttoned and shoes off. The gun sits on the coffee table.
What's that gun doing here?
Just taking a trip down memory lane.
I'll put it away. If it happens again, they'll put you away.
Marty exits with the gun.
Staying. That girl. Good. We don't need Marty mooning over some dead girl.
It's him.
Don't worry, Mama. We won't play the carpets. Leslie, up so soon. Why are you wearing that costume? Everything else was in the wash. Marty, you never came to bed. It was with me.
Origin gods like Benedict Fables. Verses on loose. Secret service everywhere.
tyranny horses. How are you getting to the train? I'm not taking the train. After the night you had, it's hardly safe to ride. And here's Anthony positively glowing.
What's going on here?
Leslie stayed with me last night. Wait with the wing of prenuptial dust.
Get out! Get out! All of you!
You don't deserve her.
So, did you come? That good!
This is the first time.
He just told you that to get laid.
Anything you wanna tell me?
What would I have to tell?
Marty, I came down last night. You know, the thing with the gun and the crossroom.
Oh, God.
Why do you do that? Not really.
Leslie, you gotta help me. Help me. Talk me back. Talk to me about our Sundays. Talk to me about our Sundays. We get up. Talk to me. We get up.
No harm.
Right, 'cause it's Sunday.
I pull the covers over your fair shoulder.
I pull you down on me, mascara rings around your eyes. I feel sad when you
to go, Nancy Drew. Look at you, that disgusting drag. She was a real person. Her husband really died. You're crazy. If you want to make him crazy like you, he's here to have babies with web feet that you bury in the backyard. Oh, Marty. Let's bury our duck babies out back. Next time. The yard will be positively littered with corpses. Killed your father.
Oh, he laughed. He's confused.
He's tried to leave, but Mama shot him.
It was the day Kennedy was shot. We were children.
He tried to leave. Mama tried to keep him. She covered him with her mouth. She tried to keep his
Not Mama, Jackie.
He tried to leave.
Jackie
His household
Kennedy.
quite devoid of dignity. This is his house. His house. There was a hole in the ground for Daddy's grave.
No. An air conditioner. A big old Jackie.
He tried to leave his household quite devoid of dignity.
Blackout, gunshot.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, this is not on. There we go. Okay. Thank you so much. I want to give everybody such a huge round of applause again because they have put in so much work. I mean, you can tell, but you really don't know how much work they put in. And Yain especially, who is like... Thank you. So maybe I can ask Kathy to also come in and you guys can join in this discussion too, because we just have a couple questions that we want to throw out for all of you. And so I want to give us a little guideline, which is we're really looking for this first question, we would just love to know, what are the things that stood out to you? Like, what do you remember most? And this could be something that you heard, or a character, or a line that you heard. And we're specifically interested in your kind of neutral response. So we're not really looking for opinions at this point. So what I'd love to know is what stood out for you, which means not I liked the aria, or I liked Yain, or I liked Mrs. Pascal's caftan, though it is fabulous. Rather, we're looking for things like, I remember that that this plot point happened, or that aria really stuck with me or resonated with me. So things that stood out to you, things that you noticed. Yes. Okay. Great, great. Anyone else? Yes.
I love the moment that you look lovely, and then how it's again comes back with Leslie, and at the end it's slightly different harmonic or melodic structure, right?
Yes.
Thought that was very cool.
Great. So you noticed the parallel between the two. Great, great, great. Thank you.
Like a little icky the first time.
Yes. Yes.
I noticed a quick deterioration of Anthony, who we thought was going to be the only humanized sibling.
Right, right.
And a quick deterioration in Leslie's, I guess, like, awareness of the situation and like her will.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was really, really cool.
So you noticed that the speed with which Anthony shifted and the speed with which Leslie was perhaps corrupted? Okay, okay, interesting. Thank you. Yes.
I noticed that, having not been thinking about this, I was imagining a house, like a normal like dollhouse or something, and then the music shifted, and I was like, oh no, there's something wrong with this house. And I don't remember where it was, but it was before they started singing, really. But there's some like turn that it makes, and I was like, oh, this is like a spooky house. So that was really cool that it kind of sets it up. Like, oh, it's gonna be like a lovely little no, it's not.
Great, great, great. So there was a turn at the beginning that kind of resonated. Awesome. Thank you. No, that's fantastic. Like, actually, it's really helpful to have people who have no idea what this was and just to hear what you took away from that, because that informs us going forward as to, was that what we meant or not? Yes. Any other? Yes. Oh, sorry.
I noticed the music when Leslie when Jackie and Marty are post-coital sitting on the couch. I noticed that music really for the first time today,
Hmm,
and that was struck me.
Okay. So can I ask what in particular you noticed about it? Just that it existed or that it was a particular mood or?
Yeah, I guess I noticed that it existed because it really had like a contrast to the very thick, busy, loud that was right before it, and then I just think I haven't heard it strung together
Hmm,
so that it really was contrasted.
great, great. Thank you. And then we have, yes.
I noticed that Gabby's character, the mother, was very immediately withholding information. Like she knew more than she was letting on, and so when what was revealed at the end, it was a very gratifying conclusion to that.
Hmm.
From the beginning, I was waiting for either a Gabby Aria or a Gabby character conclusion.
And can I ask what was revealed at the end?
You can ask. What was revealed at the end was that she knew what her children were doing,
Mhm.
and that she killed her, or at least the kids think she killed. Emily's character knew. Had one thought. Kyle's character had another thought. I guess Gabby killed her husband, but I was waiting for some sort of conclusion. Yeah, it happened.
Like a confirmation or not? Great, great. Thank you. And then I saw another, yes.
I was just going to say that overall the feel of dark comedy, because you have this great soundscape that you introduce, but then it really is genuinely funny. And so it's sort of unsettling to laugh, which maybe is the point, but it was very well done.
Great. And then I'll go back here. And hi. I think I saw Jeff. Yeah.
Well, just on Keely's point, I noticed that when it was time to laugh, I felt I had the time to do that without fear of losing.
Great. Great. And then I saw, yes.
I was just gonna say on top of what Keely said, the soundscape that one of my favorite parts of the whole thing is after Jackie says I was following along.
Oh, okay, okay.
But after she says we all have our secrets, and then you kind of offset by one beat, that kind of rising melody is so cool, and then it gets really accelerated, and that was some of the most spooky, unsettling, music in the whole thing.
Great, great. And I saw one more hand here. Hi, yes.
Me?
Yes, you.
I noticed that, or I guess it's part of like what I didn't notice.
Mhm.
So I didn't feel sonorly or within the atmosphere of the music a storm. I felt a storm between the families and between the new energy coming in, but I did not know that there was a storm in the atmosphere until somebody mentioned it and until the lights went out. And so
Okay, so it wasn't totally clear that there was a storm.
yeah.
Okay, great. So we're going to ask another question, which is, if you had to pick a person that you were rooting for, did you have someone that you were rooting for? Yes.
Yeah.
Who was it?
And Midori's character.
Oh, Leslie.
Leslie, sorry.
Lunga's character was, and why Leslie? Can I ask why Leslie?
Because she was immediately made fun of by Jackie, and like immediately ostracized before she was given a chance, and like she was set up for failure.
She was set up for
So I was
failure.
like, don't fail.
Great. So she was kind of the underdog.
For sure.
Great, great.
Yeah, as well as Lindsay.
Great. And then for Anthony, why Anthony, Lunga's character?
Well, I think it's from the moment that I accepted, okay, this family's clearly something's deeply wrong, and I just focused on the comedy side of it. I was just rooting for that character. Also, your interpretation of it was also hilarious. So I think that's why. And there's also something, even though he's manipulative and you're not really sure, is he the only one who's honest, or is he also as crazy as the other ones? But there's something so funny and light about him always, where I think the others you can't really, even Leslie, there's something that she's still, I was not fully like going for her because there's something a bit, I don't know, I didn't feel it so much, but for him I was like, well, you know what, she's funny.
Great.
I can't really explain it. So gut feeling.
So we have the underdog and we have the comic relief.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Great. Yes.
I would root for Marty.
Mm,
I was really hanging in there for him at the end. I think that's why that scene functions the way it does, right?
Mhm.
Is because that's the conflict. It's like whether he's going to be, in this, allow himself to be introduced into, like, back into this family dynamic that is very toxic,
right.
right? Or if he's choosing a better path and better opportunity for himself.
Right,
And we
right.
always like to try to root for the person who's trying to change.
Right.
And we just don't find out in the end if he does or not.
Right. Yes. And then you were all also Marty Stan. Great.
No one was rooting for Jackie? That's weird.
So we have one last question, which is what kind of feelings, reactions, thoughts do you have about Marty and Jackie's relationship? And that could be as simple as what the relationship was or why it was, or just what you're kind of left with in thinking about it. Yes.
The entire time, I kept asking myself the question and wanting to ask you and the librettist the question of, and not in a mean way at all. I'm just really, really curious, like, why this story?
Mm-hmm.
Why this relationship?
Mm-hmm.
And is this truly to be, artists, librettists, composers? Is this truly to put something into the world that people need? Or is this something that, these stories exist and I want to make it? Because honestly, I cannot think about ever wanting to go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go to the place of watching something incestuous, watching something where a woman's will just so quickly disintegrates when, that's not always the case. And it's always the case in movies. And then seeing a crazy mom who also is enabling it. So I just kept asking, like, why? Like, what inspired this?
Well, I'm curious why you think we made it. Like, what did you take away?
I think that's why I kept asking why, because I could not put my finger on it. I'm thinking, well, maybe they like weird stuff. It's like, not to be crass, but it is the type of show it is. But I'm just like, some people have certain kinks, and I'm not saying that that's what you as the but I'm just like, just to be completely transparent.
No, that's great because we do know why we made it, and it's curious. I'm not going to tell you because I want to hear what other people think also, because that's part of what this is for us. Also, is did you take away what we intended? So, and you have no thoughts bubbling back there that you might want to share, other than maybe we have a kink.
Oh, no. I don't think y'all have a kink. I think maybe you wanted to show that a story this diluted could also be portrayed in a powerful way that also shows that new music can communicate real humanity, real humanity that exists in all forms, not just the happy, not just this tragic, but also a passion that lives in a very, dark and unacceptable in society. So no, I do not want y'all to think that I think y'all are on a kink.
It's okay. It's fine.
Sounds like you just answered your own.
Yeah. Yes.
I think what processing it now, thinking what I would try to take away from it, and I think the key is Marty about like breaking generational trauma, like breaking that cycle and continuing on and choosing different, I hope that that's what it's about at least.
It could be. Yes.
Yeah, there's also something about the first thing that came to mind to me with my own cultural thing and taste is the Game of Thrones relationship between the Lannisters and twins. That at first, the first few seasons, me watching it, I was like, oh my goodness, this is gross, this is wrong. And then when you think of incest generally, maybe not only this twin relationship, but sometimes a father and a daughter, and these horrible things that are traumas and sometimes generational. There is something about it as well that is like, that makes it even darker and even more horrible is that most of the time, if it's like, let's say father-daughter and it's a position of power, there's something twisted in there as well that they actually think this is how they're supposed to love each other.
Mhm.
And I realized that as well as I was watching the seasons unfold of Game of Thrones, is that I was like, oh, there's something, that's how they express their love at the highest level. And at some point you forget that it's really wrong and traumatic and horrible, and you just see the love, and that's the moment you go like, oh wait, no, this is wrong love. This is a wrong way of loving. And you have a moment you forget. And I had that reminded to myself in a duet, like the moment they say, I miss you, and Marty says that he sees Emily's face while watching it, sorry, I don't have the name. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that about the Lannisters, that I had a moment, I was like, I forgot that they were twins. And that what made me like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's how twisted and deeply complicated incest is. It's just, it's even deeper than just, not just. But
Yeah.
It's-
I
Thank
was
you.
also receiving glimmers of like Saltburn
Mhm.
and like Knives Out, you know.
Yeah.
And get it.
And could you talk about that a little more?
I think that because I think it's like the outrageousness of incest, I definitely feel like there's like a shock value or a shock factor to that information. And also like being a director, how that's portrayed on stage and what we'll be seeing. And so that's like the Saltburn famous bathtub scene, like why are we doing these things kind of thing, and like what that invokes in humanity and how we process shock, like because of these circumstances. So that's something that I felt like was very kind of Saltburnish. Also just like this whole trend of like eat the rich right now, right? That you see in media all the time. That's happening right now. I think this kind of shoes in right into that kind of vein of things. Yeah, that's kind of, and then with the Knives Out is obviously with a dark comedy humor
Right.
for sure, or like, you know, a Tarantino kind of
Right.
esque quality to it. Yeah.
Thank here.
I think there's a lot of psychology to when you put that this is an opera on the title as opposed to like this obviously it's adapted from a play, but I am trained to think of opera, a lot of opera as there has to be some great meaning at the end. And this is a very, very meaningful piece, but I think immediately going to a theater and sitting down at an opera, in a traditional opera, I don't know where you all are trying to premiere this or anything like that, but there's a connotation to it, and this feels like very purposely disrupts that idea in a way that is shocking in every way, both with the soundscape, with the title. House of Yes feels like it does fit in. You could market it on Instagram or Twitter or something like that. Like you can see it in lights very easily. And I think it, I don't know. It's just so interesting that it is an opera, right? You're calling it in.
Well, it's written for operatic voices, so we could get into a long discussion about what opera actually is, but that might take longer. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But that was I felt immediately sitting down here, I knew that this was going to be something different because of the title, because of the immediate soundscape, and because I had heard a little bit, like bits and pieces of the plot. So I was prepared to expect something, jarring.
Can I ask how many of you came in not knowing anything? Also very helpful. So we've heard from Tanya. Can I hear from you, actually? I'm curious what you took away.
So I come from a non-opera background.
Great. Perfect.
Great. I just felt like this piece was really accessible. Like I feel like a lot of older operas, they're a little bit harder to get into, but this I was in like right from the beginning, like with all the discordant notes. I was like, oh, this is gonna be twisted. This is gonna be a lot of fun. So.
And what did you take away from what did you think the piece was about?
I'm still like processing all the shock and
Sure.
all the things that went into it. Yeah.
Great. I'll come back to you later. There will be a quiz. It'll be multiple choice. Don't worry. David.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm still thinking, we'll be thinking for some time about like everything, so definitely giving us a shoot for the net reaction. But
yeah, in spite of like incest being maybe like part of art for like literally thousands of years in religion, so like, I mean, I'm still sort of like, oh my gosh, there's gonna be something about incest. I hope I can handle it. And one of the things that, and it, I thought I got y'all sucked me really into the world. I felt like I understood why these characters were making the decisions that they made, and also like crucially, because the treatment of it was so funny and so imaginative, and like delightfully twisted. I mean, like obviously, like there's not that I've read it. There's flowers right Algernon, which I suppose is like one thing, and then there's this like we're reenacting the Kennedy assassination. And actually, the kind of the humor of that sort of distances it from me to an extent that I can be like, it's okay. I can get into this, even if I was like a little bit scared about like my reactions. So that even that if you're talking about something that I think it's like I felt like when we were talking initially about like the emotional realities of incest. I mean, that is like it's a big thing and it's really heavy and it's really really scary. And I appreciated that because it was so imaginative and funny. It made me like let down my guard and be like, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there with them. I want to spend time with all these people, these characters. I want to see how this plays out. Maybe like not even in spite of my discomfort, but because of my discomfort. So that was a reaction to that question.
Great. Yes.
I also, one thing I really appreciate about this is that unlike any other opera I've seen that maybe should be like horror or thriller or like psych, this truly took me there. And like you said, like you really get into the world. I mean, I saw the house, I saw the stairs, I saw everything about it, and I think that comes from great music writing and a great libretto. And I think I truly thought with this, I can see this as a psycho thriller movie. And that, I mean, and Salome doesn't do that for me. You know what I mean? But this did.
That's back
So
here.
better than Salome is on
More psycho, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just curious if you see that, like, if the creative team envisions this being paired with another one act, like Skiki or Deadly
And now for something completely different.
Yeah. No, we haven't talked about it, but I think there is an appetite for shorter work. I also think it would be hard to put something with this because where do you go from here?
I think it could be the medium. Mothers and daughters being messed up.
We've already said fuck. We might as well just keep going.
Anyway.
Have you heard of 1,000 Acres?
Yes.
Okay. Because when you said it'd be hard to pair, I immediately thought of
Okay.
A lot of incest in one.
Right.
So let's be honest, if we're gonna do like an incest festival, there are lots
Incest
of
fest?
Incestible! We figured it out.
Yes.
I was gonna say that while I know the incest features heavily, it's also sort of the bloated nature of the family, of like this decaying thing. I mean, the mom killed the husband. All of the kids are a mess. Even Leslie sort of like feeds into this dysfunction because I'll tell you what, I went to my boyfriend's house, fiance's house, found out what was happening, I would be gone. There would be no like, come with me, so you're a better woman than I. But it is the same more than just that.
Right.
It's very interesting.
Yes.
This is just an interesting thing I was thinking about with this. It's like there's so many references to the house. This house, this house devoid of dignity, all that stuff. It almost makes me think that like with Leslie's character, like there is like some sort of like funk on the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like as the house is a physical being, like, and I don't know if that's something like that's already like y'all thinking of or what, but that's just something that kind of hits me as like an interesting concept. I guess that.
Right.
Like Monster House or something.
Monster House.
Anyway,
There's similar to what Devin just said, there's kind of like a stepping back from the show itself and just being like an audience mode for it. There's a nightmarish quality that really came through. There's the like repetitive views in the piano and repetitive left to sing moments. And also I felt a very nightmarish, trapped energy from the house itself. And also a very ghosty presence from Mrs. Pascal. It feels like she's just kind of lurking always in the space. And there's like a lot of silence for her, but she never feels like she goes away. And it's very satisfying. It's like starting this and feeling like, oh, I wish she had more music. I'm biased. But like, you know, it fits really well that she's kind of just like
Great. Yes.
I have one more thought actually about the first question about things that stood out. One of the, and I saw most of the cover run as well, so the second scene, and both times what stood out in a big way was how quickly the scene progressed after
Anthony.
After Anthony found out, or after Anthony told Leslie about Mark, so many names. Anthony told Leslie about Marty Jackson. There was not a lot of space, and then he said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "No," and that stood out to me as like. That's a funny question to ask at that time after so, like, here's the most important thing you've ever heard, and are you okay? Right after hearing it. No, and then like moving on.
Right.
And so that was really, really jarring both times.
Right. Jarring. Interesting.
That was funny to me. Because
Yeah.
it's the typical teenager who's like, to me, that's how I read it, or that's how maybe the movie I interpreted it. That made me think of that. Is like, here's the worst news. I'd be like, are you okay? You know, like weird, not empathetic at all, kind of.
Yeah.
No maturity. You know, so to me, it was the funny line rather than just.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because the music in that moment for me didn't read as funny. Midori's response did not read as didn't read to me as funny.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely hard.
Okay.
One observation or asking this is that fabulous dress on a haunted house.
This is the carpet pattern from the Overlook Hotel in The Shining. I just already owned this, and I brought it with me, and I was like, wow, how perfect.
Typecasting.
So, a little bit. Thank you.
And thank all of you. As I think we're good. Yeah. Great. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you all once again for all of your work. Thank you.
What's next for you?
Italia.